This is the Mainly Plants Podcast. My name is Ryan Furman. I'm a certified plant-based nutritionist and personal trainer. The website is mainlyplants.com. You can find me on social media at mainlyplants across all the platforms. You can also find the website at mainlyplants.com. If you haven't been there yet, head on over there and check out the navigation. You'll find some cool stuff there, from stuff that I recommend to cool vegan t-shirts through Amazon Prime, to other shit that you might find interesting, right? All right, so first things first, this is my first ever podcast that I'm recording video for. A lot of people like watching podcasts instead. I don't really know why. I never do. But if you want to see my pretty face while I'm speaking to y'all, head on over to YouTube. And my channel is Mainly Plants. If you have trouble finding it, shoot me a message. I'll shoot you the link. I ask that you subscribe and you like my videos and you leave a little comment. Helps me out a ton. And along that same avenue, I'm going to be creating a lot of content for YouTube. So I put up my first ever YouTube video last night. I'm going to do a series of vegan product reviews. So yesterday's was a coconut sweet chili sauce that I was sent to try out. It's a sauce. I wanted to see how it performs as a marinade. So it's like a 3-minute and I think like 16-second video, quick rundown. I hope it's entertaining enough. I would imagine that the more I do them and the more I become familiar with the editing software, the more entertaining they'll be. And if there's also something that you want me to review, let me know. I'd be happy to try it. I think my next one's going to be on a myriad of vegan cheeses. So keep a lookout for that one. Be sure you subscribe to it, though, so that you're notified when new videos come out. Like I said, I'm also going to have a playlist of all my podcasts, and there's some other ideas that I'm working on that are in the mix. So just another arm on the octopus that is Mainly Plants. So I really appreciate your guys' continued support. And if you do know how to access YouTube, if you're hip with it, head on over there and check it out. All right, you might like it. There's only one video now. Hopefully, there's going to be 2 soon, and then so on and so forth. So a few things to talk about this week, and it's funny. Like, I had one thing I wanted to talk about, and then I'm like, oh shit, now there's another thing that I want to talk about, and now there's a third thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how I transition from one thing to the next. But we'll get through it, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is, I don't know how many of y'all watched the Super Bowl, but there was a Hyundai commercial that is receiving a lot of backlash from vegans and PETA and yada, yada, yada for their commercial. And if you haven't watched the commercial, while you're over at YouTube subscribing to me, go and type in Hyundai, which is Hyundai, if you've been living under a rock for the last, 30 years. Type in Hyundai Super Bowl commercial. It's Jason Bateman playing a elevator person, what would you call them? I don't even know what you'd call them. The person who stands in the elevator and pushes the buttons for you in really fancy buildings. And he's kind of going through, each floor represents like another thing that people hate, right? So one's like going to the dentist for a root canal. So the doors open up and everybody sees, this is the floor where there's root canals. And it's the person getting drilled in their mouth. All right, let's keep your minds out of the gutter. So another floor for things that people hate that he lands on is vegan dinner party. And somebody, when the doors open, somebody comes from the dinner party and welcomes you and says they're serving meatloaf. And there's this kind of like disgust in the air from the people in the elevator, right? Because nobody wants to go to a vegan dinner party and they're serving meatloaf. So they're receiving a lot of backlash from it. And I don't know, when I saw the commercial, obviously being vegan, my ears perked up immediately. Oh, they're mentioning vegans. But it was a funny commercial. And yeah, vegans have this stereotype of cooking like this weird, disgusting food. But it was a joke, people. I get that Hyundai maybe could have been a little more sensitive, but I think that people are too sensitive to begin with. It's just a commercial. I saw like a bunch of comments online that people was like, well, there goes, I've been an IKEA owner for the last 2 cars and I'm vegan and I'm not going to buy another one. It's like, really? Who really gives a shit? Why do you care so much that they're poking a little fun at vegans? It didn't bother me. I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, beetloaf sounds disgusting, especially to somebody who isn't vegan. Could they have educated people that vegan food is delicious? Sure, but that's not the intent of the commercial, and that's not their job. Their job is to sell cars. It was cheeky. It was funny. Now, Hyundai's apologizing for it. Fuck off. You don't apologize. Just do the commercial, move on. If you receive this huge decrease in car sales because people from a group that I identify with can't take a joke about it, then adjust going forward. But I don't think you're going to have a steep decline in car sales just because you made a little poke at vegans. You also made a poke at dentists. Does that mean dentists should be up in arms because you made fun of root canals and how painful they are? No. I mean, listen, root canals suck, right? But you get Novocaine and you make your way through it and you're fine the next day. Same with, people who cook crappy, period. Whether they're vegan or not. And there's a lot of vegans who are terrible cooks, just like there's regular, normal, well, not, I don't want to say normal, but regular omnivores who are terrible cooks. It's not a big deal, people. It's a car company. Yes, we all know that veganism is the fastest growing food section, fastest growing, I don't know if it's the fastest growing movement, because it's obviously more than food, but it's the fastest growing diet in food sales. But I don't think that it's something that should be taken so taken to heart so hard. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Move on. It's a Super Bowl commercial. They're being funny. Go eat some awesome vegan pizza or whatever. And then, prior to that, where was, have everything. Oh, okay. So on the same lines of people just being too sensitive, I don't know. If you want to, roast me with comments saying that I am not being sensitive enough, I guess go ahead. It's just the way that I feel. I'm sure I've talked to other vegans about this. And the sentiment seems to be, at least among the people that I know, kind of the same. Like, yeah, who really cares? Sure, it was a cheap joke, but who really fucking cares? It was one part of one commercial. It wasn't the whole commercial. So, I don't know if you've... That's kind of my first thing that I want to talk about. There's no good segue, people, to the next thing that I want to talk about. There's just a few things in the news that irked me. So that irked me. The first one that irked me was that because of people's response. And the response to the next article irked me also. That's my segue. So I don't know if you guys heard, but there was this Colorado runner who was running on I believe it was a fire trail, kind of in the mountains, in the hills, and had to fight off a mountain lion attack. So the story goes that this runner was running along a fire trail, and he kind of felt, sometimes you get that feeling that people are watching you. He got that feeling, and he looked up, and kind of on a ridge directly over him, 20 feet away, there was a mountain lion stalking him. And when you're running, you're already cueing the part of that predator's brain that this is prey, because prey run. So he fought off the mountain lion with his bare hands, mind you. No pepper spray, no knives, no guns. So I would call it the fairest fight that you could possibly have in nature between a human and another animal. And suffocated the mountain lion to death. And there was somebody in one of my vegan groups on Facebook who posted a link to that article, and on the article it says Colorado runner kills mountain lion in self-defense, but he made his own caption, his own headline that said trespasser kills cougar who defended his home. Really? I mean, have we really jumped the shark that much? First of all, Humans are not trespassers in the mountains. That is commonplace, right? We have cities as humans, and wild animals have the wild. But humans can go into nature. And just like there's coyotes that run down my street from time to time. The human's not trespassing. God, this sounds like such an anti-vegan podcast, but I swear to God, I've been vegan for 7 years, all right? If it was a hunter who went into the mountains to find this cougar, this mountain lion, and kill it with bow and arrow, with knife, with a gun or a rifle or whatever, then that's not okay with me. But this guy was going for a jog. He was trail running, which is a very popular thing. Thousands of people do it. And he happens to be in the wild. And when you're in the wild shit's going to happen to you. Or it can happen to you. And that's what happened. It's not like he was hunting this mountain lion. The mountain lion was hunting him. So he's not a trespasser. And it's not that the mountain lion was defending his home. The mountain lion was looking for prey to eat. He's not killing this person because this person's trespassing. Mountain lions don't know what the fuck trespassing is. Mountain lion's attacking this person because he sees a big piece of meat that he can eat. He or she, I'm not sure if the mountain lion was male or female. But that's, when people say, when people who aren't vegan say, humans are at the top of the food chain, or, hunting is perfectly okay in all aspects because, it's a quick kill and yada, yada, yada. That I'm not okay with. And we're not at the top of the food chain because, as you can see in this article, when it comes to the mountain lion and the human, 9 times out of 10, the mountain lion is at the top of the food chain. I don't know if this guy's just super jacked or what, or knows jujitsu or something, but he was that 1% that made it out alive. It was a fair fight. It's the most fair you can possibly get. It's when people say that humans are at the top of the food chain, I always say, yeah, go into nature with just your bare hands and try to defend yourself against a big cat. I say that all the time. This guy fucking did it, man. He proved me wrong, at least that 1% of the time, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get your ass mauled to death. Happens all the time, right? It even happens in LA, they have mountain lions. Kill people from time to time. And then they have to go into the mountains, and they have to find that mountain lion and put it down. That's what happens. I don't agree with that either. But this mountain lion, they didn't put down because this guy was defending himself. Listen, it's a sad situation either way, right? It's a sad situation if the mountain lion dies. It's a sad situation if the guy dies. But when it comes to self-defense and nobody's trying to hunt the animal, as in this situation, I'm always going to root for the human. So this guy wasn't trespassing. This guy wasn't going looking for a fight. He was going jogging in nature. This shit happens. That's the most natural relationship between wild animals and humans that there could possibly be. What's not natural, I got my segue. What's not natural is Dolphinaris in the desert. If you don't know what that is, there's a big aquarium that they built here on the Indian reservation across the freeway from Scottsdale. It's about 5 minutes from where I live. And in that aquarium, they have this experience called, I think it's Dolphinaris or Dolphinarius. And in the 2 years that it's been open, 4 dolphins have died. Now, if I bought my own home, moved out of my parents' house, and adopted, say, 6 dogs, right? And over the course of the next 2 years, 4 of those dogs had premature deaths. Wouldn't people look into it? Wouldn't people be like, hey, maybe that person shouldn't have dogs? Not only that, but these dolphins are in the middle of the fucking desert. It's not where they should be. They should be in the wild. If they're rescued and rehabilitated, then put them in a conserve. Conserve? Whatever. God, it's Friday. My brain's fried. But you see my point, is that this is too many deaths, and these deaths should not even be happening because that facility should not be open. You know, zoos and aquariums, and I'm talking about traditional zoos, not the kinds that take in injured animals and let them spend the rest of their days in captivity because of that, and they can't be re-released. I'm okay with conservation efforts for animals, which is what most zoos aren't. There are some select zoos that are, besides the point. Zoos and aquariums and things of the like started so that people who don't live in the mountains, who don't live on the coast, who don't go scuba diving, who don't, see these animals in nature, so that they could see them and learn, right? Decades ago. But we have the internet now. We have Planet Earth documentaries on TV. You can go on whale watching tours. There are tens of ways to see these animals without having them locked up in an unnatural environment. Not only that, but dolphins are the second smartest mammal, which means that arguably the second smartest mammal. Some people say that, great apes, chimps are up there also, but it's looking like dolphins supersede that. Dolphins also, I believe, have the largest brain-to-body ratio, which is another sign of intelligence. Regardless, I'm kind of getting away from it. So where was I? I was saying that dolphins arguably are the second smartest mammal, meaning that they're the second smartest being in the world. And since we are not aware of life outside of our world yet, at least I'm not, it's safe to say that dolphins are quite possibly the second smartest animal that is known to man. Second only to man. And there's a case that some men aren't that smart, or woman, or woman, or human, or whatever you want to call it. No offense intended by saying man. So imagine you being put into a room for the rest of your life. A room with a big glass wall where people can come and look at you. How fucking bored would you be? It's torture. Of course your health is going to decline. Of course shit's going to go bad. Of course you're going to die. It's unhealthy. It's not natural. And subsequently, the feds are now investigating this Dolphinaris. It is shut down temporarily until a professional panel of reviewers can see what went wrong and see if it should be allowed to be reopened. Mind you, the company that provides the dolphins has cut ties with Dolphinaris. So if they want to get more dolphins, they have to find a different company. That panel that's reviewing is made up of veterinarians and specialists and yada yada yada. So hopefully it will be shut down permanently. I do not agree with it. I would love to hear your guys' take on all this, because I think it's important that we have an open discussion. So if you feel that you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, let's have some civil discord and let's talk about it. Email me, ryan@mainlyplants.com. Be sure to head on over to YouTube, go subscribe, go like, go comment, help a brother out. I love the support that you guys continue to give me. And until next week, go eat a salad.